Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Emily, the Petite beauty blogger, and in today's video I'll be doing a makeup look inspired by Emily in Paris. Now, for those who don't know what Emily in Paris is, you must be living under a rock, but it's a new series on Netflix about an American that goes to work in Paris, and I don't actually have Netflix, so I subscribed to Netflix just so I could watch this because, of course, my name's Emily and my favourite place in the world is Paris. I went there 2 years ago with my best friend and I've just always loved going there. Paris is just a very special place for me. So when it was a story about a girl called Emily living my dream basically in Paris, I thought I have to watch it. Now, I only started watching it last night and I have already finished it because, I was so obsessed with it. And it was created by Darren Star, and if you don't know who Darren Star is, he's the guy that created Sex and the City, and Sex and the City is also one of my favourite TV programmes. I've got them all on box set. Now, I love Paris. I've got tons of books on Paris. Now, this is my favourite one. It's Paris Through a Fashion Eye by Megan Hess. Now, I bought this just before I went to Paris. I bought this in Selfridges in London just to get me prepared, and I also bought this cute little Chanel book. But this is my favourite because it's got the gorgeous pages and the illustrations are absolutely incredible. I mean, look, it's literally my favourite book. It's just so Parisian and it smells nice. You know, some books have a really nice smell. Oh, it smells so scented. So, for today's look, Emily, I know I saw all the episodes already, but she had a very gorgeous, cute little wing. And she had, of course, an iconic red lip, and that is basically my look. Anyway, so we'll get straight to it. So this look is going to be all about the skin and getting it nice and elegant and just dewy, and then the fun boldness will be the striking red lip, my brows, and a tiny bit of liner. Now, as this look is going to be very dewy, I'm going to go in with moisturiser, of course, and this is my favourite from Bare Minerals called Butter Drench, and it's for dry to very dry skin types. And this is my favourite. It smells like a luxurious fancy salon, and I am just obsessed with it. It's a bit more pricier than a normal moisturiser, but I keep buying it because if you have dry flaky skin, it completely smooths it and gets rid of any flakiness, because I get it especially bad on my forehead. And it really just smooths out the skin and leaves a nice thick layer that just sinks in beautifully. And of course, down there. Now, my dream in life, if half rich enough, would be to actually own an apartment in Paris, like a penthouse. That is the dream. Obviously, I don't know French. I'm not very good at it. I mean, I know the words to Lady Marmalade. That's about it. And I don't think that's too great to keep saying to people, but my dream is to have that penthouse in Paris. Now, for just some extra moisture, because my skin needs it, I'm going to go in with my Mario Badescu facial spray with aloe, herbs and rose water. As you can see, it's very well used. It's one of my favourites, and it really wasn't expensive. I got this from Liberty in London and it was £12. For primer, I'll be going in with my favourite primer. This is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, and as you can see, this is also very well used, and I love this one. It smells very citrusy and it's really good for that moisture. For foundation, I'll be going in with my trusty Fenty Beauty in 145, and I will be applying it with my giant sponge from Spectrum. Now, I don't usually apply with a sponge because it's just too time consuming for me, but when I want nice dewy, like skin light makeup, I feel for me it works the best. Now, that program changed my life. I mean, I'm obsessed with Paris anyway, and it just made it even better that she was called Emily. I know I look nothing like Lily Collins. I wish I did. She is fabulous and she's so pretty. I will never be that skinny. but a girl can dream. Now I've got the bun, I've got the pearls, I do have a beret, but I don't want to be too stereotypical and be like insult anyone, so let's keep the beret out of it. But if you'd like me to do a video in a beret, then comment down below. Moving on to concealer, I've got my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define in C3. Now, in the film, one thing, I don't know, quite stereotypical that I kind of didn't like is that everyone was perceived as quite rude. But I'm guessing, you know, that's just a stereotype. But I will say, every time I've been to Paris, everyone has just been super lovely. I remember I went to Disneyland Paris in 2015. I've got a little collage of it up there. But we wanted to do Paris as well. So we did a day before Disneyland in Paris and a day after Disneyland Paris. And of course, me being me and my family, we had a lot of luggage. And every time we went on the metro, there was always someone kind to say, there was always someone offering to help us with our luggage up the stairs, because there's a lot of stairs in Paris. And everyone was just super nice and super lovely. So I've never had the experience of people in Paris or French people being rude, like it's perceived in the show. I know some people might say otherwise, but I've always seen them as being just lovely people. They're just always very, I don't know if anyone else had a different experience, but I thought they were lovely. Now moving on to the powder, so we can set all our concealer and foundation. I'm going to go in with this number 7 because I did want this to be as naturally and dewy as possible, and I love this one because it sets but it's not too heavy. Moving on to contour, I'm going in with my Get the Pretty Started by Benefit, and I'm going to use the colour Hula. Now for the brush, I'm using Spectrum A04, and I like this one because it's a bit more thin and you can be a bit more concentrated, because one thing I did like when watching it is she had very cute contoured face. Now I usually put on way too much contour powder, so this will be a bit different for me. But I'm very excited. This is my favourite contour brush because it just blends effortlessly. Now I'm not going to bring it all the way forward because I kind of want it at the back, and then I'm going to do some cute blush at the front. I'm also taking all my being not to go absolutely ham on this, so I'm trying to be as good as I can be, like so. And then I always like to bring it down and just to get that chiseled jawline. I'm going to try my best to look like Collins, but we all know that's never ever ever going to happen. And now for blush, I'm going to go in with that same palette, and I'm going to go in with California, which is that middle one, and I'm just going to make this really cute and sun-kissed, just like Emily. Not me, but Emily in Paris. What I like to do is I like to hold the end of the brush when I'm doing things like this, just to lightly go over, and then you kind of, so it's not too heavy, but I can do it lightly by just going like this. And I just like to smile when I'm doing my blush, just so I get the right bits, the right parts of my cheek. So for brows today, I'm going to go in with 2 products. This is one of my new favourites. This is a Benefit. It's the Brow Micro Filing Pen, and it's the one that has the 3 kind of prongs, if you can see on camera. And I'm going to use that for the front of my brows, just to get some definition. And then for some extra oomph and power for my brows, I've got an Anastasia Beverly Hills, I don't know what it's called, but it's just one of those, it's like a brow mascara almost. This is in the shade dark brown, and this one is in the shade Deep Brown. So I like to use a dark brown, and this is going to give me strong brows just like Emily. First thing I am going to do is of course groom my brows. That's the best thing you can do when doing your brows, just because it makes them look so much better and tidier. And when you use that microfiling pen, obviously you want to have your brows nice and tidy so the product works better. Now the microfiling pen is definitely for more natural brows, which is kind of what I wanted. I wanted kind of like that natural kind of lines, like hair strokes, but this one is a bit darker, and I'm just going to really use that on the ends just to fill it out a bit. And now I'm just going to go in to the ends with the Anastasia Beverly Hills, but just be warned, this is very strong, so really scrape off as much product first before you do the rest of your brow, because it's intense. So for shadow, I'll be going in with my Friends X Revolution palette, because in it there is a gorgeous just tone that I'm going to use all over my eye, and that tone is Ben, which is right there, and that is literally just going to go over my entire lid. It's going to be a very simple eye look, because that's the pretty look. Now also for this look, just to give it a bit more extra fun, I'm going to be going in with a mixture. For this look, because I want to add a bit of extra, I'm going to go in with that highlighter shade, which is Ugly Naked Guy, because it's got that lovely pink shimmer, and I know we're doing a red lip, but I just wanted to add a tiny bit of shimmer, and that's going to be stunning. And I'll probably go over it with a mixture of Rachel as well, because that gold is going to look stunning with the red. Perfect, and now I'm going to go in with some liner, and the liner I'm going to use today is from Wet n Wild, and it's the Mega liner. And now just quickly for mascara, I'll be going in with my Kiko Milano. Okay, so I've now completed the mascara, and lastly, before I do my lips, I'm going to pop a highlighter on, and for that I'm going to go in with Mr. Heckles, which is that middle one there, which is kind of champagne-y, and it's going to give me that dewiness of the look, just to make me sparkle. Oh, look. And when I'm doing dewy looks, I do like to bring it onto the apples of my cheeks as well. I mean, oh, I'm obsessed already. Now moving on to the iconic red lips. For liner, I'm going in with the Kylie Cosmetics lip liner in Mary Jo K, and then I'm going to fill in the middle with Lancome 132. They don't have names, but it's La Absolue Rouge. So of course it's French, and I had to use a main French lipstick, of course, because we're in Paris. So as I apply this Lancome lippy, I have just found out that they did actually use a Lancome lipstick on Lily Collins in the series for this look in particular, which I'm very excited for. It wasn't the same shade,
but it was Lancome and it was from the same collection, and I'm very excited about it.
Now last but not least, I'm going in with setting spray, and this is from NYX, and this is of course the dewy one. I also have the matte one, and I love them. And there you have it. There's the completed Emily in Paris look. I've got, of course, the iconic red lip, a cute little wing, the brows obviously, and it's all about skin. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will be putting the photo of it up on Instagram, and I hope you check it out at Petite Beauty Blogger. It will also go on my pro Facebook page, facebook.com/MUA by Emily. I will also link my website in the description box down below. Now, if you're a big fan of Emily in Paris, comment down below. I'd love to know your thoughts on it, or if you haven't seen it yet, still comment down below and I'll tell you that it's definitely worth watching. You have to watch it. And yeah, thank you for watching my video, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!